Hi, Jane. Hi,
Who's there?
Venetia.
Hello. How's the plumber?
Oh, well, so far he hasn't canceled, so I'm still waiting for him.
That's always good news.
Yeah, that's true. I did get some bad news today, which bummed me out. My son, he's is in Germany. He's getting his master's in AI research, and he was supposed to be home in August. And now he tells me that because he's working at Max Planck Institute on the side
Ooh, impressive.
while
Yeah.
he's in school, and he's doing his thesis with Max Planck. And now he says, I'm sorry, I can't get home before October because they want me to stay and do more on this one big project that they're working on.
Slave work. It's called slave work. I was a grad student. I know how that works.
Yeah, so instead of coming home in August, he's going to be home in October. And he said,
Does
oh,
he have to teach or just work on a project?
he's just working on research. It's an AI
Okay.
research tool for scientists because right now scientists have a hard time digging through all the papers on a certain subject.
Yeah.
And he's working on a tool to make AI gather up all these papers and put all the relevant points into a condensed. I don't know how. I don't know
Oh,
what
I
he's
know. I
doing,
know how
but
that works because I use the recipe website and
ah,
AI is the first guy that jumps in.
hmm,
And they'll say, okay, so if you want to make a pancake, this is how you do it. And
yeah,
what AI does is go through all the recipes for pancakes and
yeah,
finds a general, acceptable, recipe and prints it out. So I always hit AI before I go to any of the websites.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it,
Well,
it does. It saves a lot of time.
yeah, well, he loves doing this, so he's pursuing his master's in this, and uh he's gonna have some good opportunities, but and then he says, "Oh, by the way, Ma, my money is set out to run out in September. I thought I would be done by August, but now I'm going through October. Could you
So
send me some?"
he wants you to float him alone, huh?
Yeah, so I floated him along. I know he's good for it because he always pays me back, but
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. And without
but
interest and
yeah,
penalties.
he needed a extra month's worth of living expenses. It's funny that it's not that expensive. Oh, hi Robert, how you doing?
Hi.
It's not as expensive in Germany as you would think. I mean, he's got a nice studio apartment in it's only one big room and a bathroom and a tiny kitchenette, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
it's
studios, yeah.
it's good
Yeah,
enough for one guy, and it's in a really great neighborhood. It's not that far from the school, and and he's only paying 670 euros a month. 670 euros a
that's
month
good.
is not,
That's a good
yeah,
deal. You can get a studio in California for 2 grand.
yeah, I know.
And
So I
that's
mean,
out in the boondocks,
yeah, and
up
he's
in
in
the
the
hill.
heart of Dusseldorf. I mean, he's right in the heart of Dusseldorf. So it's
What is 670 in dollars? What about 750,
What is it?
800?
One,
that would be something like 750.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah, that's that's
1.25
that's
less.
incredibly affordable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
deal.
And it includes heat. It doesn't include his lights or his internet or things like that,
Hmm.
but it includes heat and water. So, I
Nice.
mean, yeah. So he found a good find, and the people there are so nice. He lives in an apartment house where the apartment owners live in their own flat, and then they have a few flats for the renters. And about he says about once every couple of months they invite everybody to the Chinese restaurant, so he gets a nice Chinese all-you-can-eat meal, you know.
Love those.
And yeah, and he says, it's nice that they're paying for it because in Europe, restaurants aren't cheap. I mean, other things are pretty cheap, but not restaurants and not gas and stuff. And
Hmm.
and so it's nice that he gets a free meal every couple months at a restaurant because otherwise he just cooks on his own little mini kitchen. He's got a little tiny oven and a little, you know, hi
Well,
Bart.
if there's only one of them, then that's all he needs, really.
Yeah, Yeah, that's true. And all he does is, just basically study and stuff. So,
And more.
but I'm still bummed that my son won't get back before October because I was looking so forward to having him come back in August. And I've been counting the days. I had a little Kevin calendar that had had the days pop up until he gets back. And now I have to reset my Kevin calendar.
Oh, yes, setbacks. Always happens to a mom.
Yeah. But anyway, well, I guess it'll be all right. Well, we had 26 registered, so hopefully uh we'll have some good, you know, well, everybody here is good, but I mean,
I was going to say it's quality, not
yeah,
quantity.
quality, not quantity is what counts. Yeah.
Hey Bart, I saw your guitar the last Zoom. Is there a story that goes with it?
Um, One on the wall. No, there's not a story with that guitar so much as a purpose. Uh, I live in Tucson, Arizona, and obviously it's very dry, and it's a hassle. I have several guitars, and it's a hassle keeping them all hydrated.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
downsizing my collection, and that guitar on the wall is made of carbon graphite,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's impervious to changes in humidity, changes in temperature, and so forth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
but
want
how does
something-
it play? How's the acoustics on it?
It plays very nice. Plays very well.
Oh,
It's got
okay.
a nice deep voice. Yeah, my son has one identical to it, and
Hmm.
he enjoyed playing it when he was here the other day. Yeah, it's
Were
really
you the
nice.
one who taught him? Did you teach him how to play?
I did.
Yeah.
I taught him, and he taught my grandson.
Oh, wow. That's
They were
nice.
here over the weekend, and we had a little jam session. That was fun.
You've been playing for a long time, haven't you?
Pretty much all my life.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
have
like that picture too, the picture of the guy playing the guitar.
Oh, the mariachi.
Yeah, yeah. That is cool.
Yeah, it's different. I
Uh-huh.
got I got that in a junk shop here in Tucson.
Mm.
That's
Hmm.
cool.
Nice.
Fit
Yeah.
my mood.
Yeah,
I love
I have three guitars, two mandolins, and a banjo in cases in the closet, and then my wife's cellos are there behind me.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
And we run a humidifier in this room.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of luck with a humidifier in the room, so I got tired of fighting with it, and I use little in case humidifiers.
Mm.
I made some humidifiers out of little plastic soap dishes that you can travel with. You put
Mhm.
some soap in it, and they have a top. And I drill holes in them, cut a piece of sponge and put in them, and you just soak the sponge. And it actually works better than the commercial ones that you can buy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm on a mission to downsize my collection. I've gotten rid of four of them so far, but I still have several others.
How many guitars total do you have?
Well, right now I have five, I think.
Five, and you've you've offloaded four?
I have.
Wow. So you had 9 at one point.
Mhm.
I can do the math. Yeah.
I've had more than that at various times.
Mm.
I
It
noticed
doesn't-
you wrote a book about how to care for a guitar, right?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been watching people, and I know some people who've had horrible experiences with their guitars, particularly on airlines.
Mhm.
Being damaged. In fact, I saw one just the other day. A friend in Nashville who's a pretty well-known songwriter. His has gotten caught in the baggage thing, and it just destroyed it. It's broken in several pieces.
Wow.
So anyway, I wrote that little book.
Yeah.
Some experiences I've had and experiences others had about how
Yeah.
to navigate the labyrinth of air travel without
Oh,
without
that reminds me of that song, United Breaks Guitars. Have
Yeah.
you ever heard that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The biggest, you know what the biggest problem is people travel. They put a guitar in a soft case
Oh,
because,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's the
Big
biggest
mistake.
mistake they can make.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
whole book is about that, mostly airlines, but other things as well, ground travel, train travel, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
I
Well,
have a I have a memoir as well about my years as a musician.
oh,
Okay.
wow.
It's
Yeah.
called Guitar Journey.
Oh, cool. I got to check that one out.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, Jane, are you ready to start, or
I
shall
guess.
shall I start? Okay, I
Yeah.
want to tell you a little bit about Jane. Everybody here knows Jane, but she's our vice president. She was born in Ohio, and one thing you may not know is that she hated to write while she was all during school and college. And when she was pursuing her master's degree, she hated to write. She only started writing after she got to Phoenix, and she started writing middle school fiction. And then she won some awards, so she kept on going, and it's never stopped since then. She's been in the Arizona Authors Association just about as long as I have, and that's been a long time. And she's pretty much like me, in which she has done probably all of the jobs at one time or another in the Arizona Authors Association. And right now she's my right arm and my left arm, and I couldn't do without her. So without further ado, here is Jane Ruby.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to this Zoom. Um, I have like the flash fiction title says, it's not going to be a very long workshop. I like to cut it to 1,000 words. So this will be short and sweet unless you have a very long line of questions, in which case you can always either just throw a chat in there, or email me, or just ask online. It doesn't matter. I'm free to go. But I wanted to say something really interesting after listening to Kathleen's intro. I did hate writing, but to get even a 2-year associate degree, you got to take at least a year of composition. So I had to, bite on the chomp just to, survive those writing classes. And I didn't do very well in them, mostly because I was playing pinball or something down in the game room every time I had class. But I did have some really good instructors. And one guy that really got me going on research was a guy in my second year composition that said, okay, everybody's got to write a research paper, throw some topics at me, go ahead and I'll either approve or ask you to, find an alternate. And so because I was a chem major at the time, I kept looking at molecular and chemical kind of papers. And the teacher goes, well, how about the molecular base for memory? And, I thought about it and said, wow, that's heavy. I've never heard of that before. And he goes, well, see, now you can write your research paper. You can research on it. So molecular base of memory really involved a lot of reading. And of course, we didn't have the internet. So, I'm climbing ladders of ancient libraries up at Case Western Reserve University in University Heights, Ohio. And, some of the other 4-year colleges that had an awful lot of, oh, I don't know what you call them, those blue copies. Oh, they're on plastic slides. Oh, I forget what they're called. But no internet, nothing easy to read, no easy reading, mostly conventional books and old Xerox photographs. Anyway, the bottom line is I had a lot of data on molecular basis of memory, and I put together this paper, and he constrained it. He said not more than 10 pages. Well, I had to stop at like 85. And he said, no, can you cut that down? Can you condense it? I mean, this is supposed to be, restricted. And I just said, okay, fine. So that was my topic, really, how to condense this overly but interesting, research paper. So that's what got me started. And that's what got me into my chemical, industry. And that was the only thing that kept me wanting to write was, is it interesting? And to me, you can't make a lot of interesting things. There's just not. But, I found my niche, and there I went, and I was off to the races. So, but I found out that when you write, and I hate to, put anybody down, but when you write technical papers or nonfiction, that kind of puts you into that scheme of things in terms of organization and management of your story and your topic. So it's a real good backbone of writing stuff. But let me go ahead without further ado and load up I made a PowerPoint. This is something I had done. This presentation on flash fiction was something I had done for, can I share this if I can pull it up? Let's see. Oh, I don't want my desktop. Okay. Maybe I do. Because I can't seem to launch my PowerPoint. Okay. I practiced this, but you guys would never know it. Okay. All right, let me pull my gallery out of here and find my paper. Here we are. Okay. Boy, PowerPoint really did not want to launch this morning.
You know, Mike Rothmiller was having the same problem in November when he did a workshop for us. He said that PowerPoint just wouldn't work for him.
I think it's just because you got a Zoom going, and of course everybody likes to use PowerPoint for their
Yeah.
Zoom presentations. But anyway, here we go. Let's see if I can pull up my. Oh, see, somebody was sending me mail, so that kind of
Can you get a little closer to the
No,
microphone?
let me pull it up, and then I'll move all my frames.
Okay.
Here we go. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is who I am and all the things that I've done. And I've only done 3 books so far, but I got started in 2010 with the Azurite Encounter actually is an Arizona adventure. So I wanted to get the middle school and up to start reading about Arizona, but not in a nonfiction sense. So I created some adventures. So Azurite Encounter and Voiceless Whispers are volume 1, volume 2. And then the I Dream, I Wake, I Write is my most recent book. It's a compilation of short stories. And the short stories, a couple of them are flash fiction. So I thought I would, touch on that subject for anybody else who has an inkling of keeping stories short. Now, flash fiction can be anything from 1 sentence to 1,000 words. And there's a lot of literary contests out there that foster flash fiction. At the same time, there are people that like to tell stories about stuff, and we'll go into that in a little more detail. So that's today's topic, and it's flash fiction, and it's a short story. So like I said, it could be a couple sentences. It could be a letter that you're writing to your best friend out of town. So Kathleen, take note. You might want to write your son a letter or an email, with just the bare bones, Sometimes when stories get
Sounds like a plan.
you kind of turn off your audience. So you really want to have, keep it short and sweet. Stories you'll find them in everyday life. So here you can chat with your family. You can chat with your friends. You can chat with your coworkers. It's still a story. Whenever you start a conversation, you're telling a story. And this is how they start. You may ask about your family, friends, and coworkers. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Or you may tell them about you. Hey, I adopted a puppy today. If it's about you, what do you tell them? Well, most of the time it is. It's a story. How do you tell them? And again, this is key. If you just want to grab them, catch their attention, then, you just want to start something short and sweet, just a quick topic sentence. And, or if it's somebody you want to get rid of on the phone, you can have a long and drawn out story, depending, again, on your audience. Do you want to keep it short and sweet? Keep it interesting? People want to know more about it? Or do you want to really fill in more details and make it a long and drawn out story? So it can even be interpersonal. It may not be family, friends, and coworkers. You may have to write a report or a paper. Should be easy, but you may have a constraint in 500 words or less. So now, now there's a constraint. So maybe it's not so easy. But, it's still the same as telling a story. And I threw the Schultz, thing up there because I see that all the time. That's stuck in my head, where Linus says, good luck with the second sentence, and Snoopy's like, huh? So you can be fine and dandy until you have, let me go back, until you have writer's block. And again, writer's block can be used in any genre. You could be writing a fabulous story, a mystery story, a sequel to your guitar repairing book. It could be anything. And then you get started on it, and all of a sudden, boom, you end up with writer's block. You're stopped. You're stuck. You don't know where to keep going or how to keep going. Now, this is just a quick example of writer's block. And again, it can apply to all genre. What causes it? Well, many things. People at Yale studied writer's block, and it had four main causes: feeling constrained by the block of the rules of writing, looking for validation, acceptance, and afraid that you may be disappointed or angry if you don't get it. Feeling not good enough and paralyzed by self-criticism. Yourself, you could be your biggest enemy and biggest cause to writer's block. Or, somebody is going to, compare your work with others. And again, not necessary, but that's your fear. So you're not sure, and so you stop, you freeze up, you have writer's block. Now, as you can tell by the background of this thing, I made it fluffy because, it's from Yale students, and not to put Yale down, but all these big words and stuff kind of turn me off. They make sense. They're to the point, sort of, but they're kind of fluffed out. So I made my own, way of developing writer's block. There's too many restrictions. You're not knowing how to start. Again, this sounds the same as the Yale people, but it's in a flash fiction form. You're not able to progress. You're not able to organize. You're fearing failure. Guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They want to know what you're writing. They don't want to dive into your head and, all your fears of things, your negative fears. So, you shouldn't either, because again, you're the originator, nobody else is feeling all of your anxiety. So skip it. Don't worry about it. Just pretend you're telling a story. Then get crazy. Talk it out loud, write it down, or type it in and read it out loud. Rinse and repeat. Okay, read it out loud, write it down, make your changes if you think it sounds bad, but really, talk it out loud, read it out loud. That is one way I learned to make it sound better. What you write down and what you say are two different things. So one good way to do that is develop a flash fiction kind of attitude when you do this. What is flash fiction? It's a nano-sized story. I think you guys already figured that one out. It can be in one sentence or several paragraphs. Again, no mystery there. It tells what happens but it contains brief or hardly any detail. All right, if you go off rambling on your visuals or your scene setup or anything else, take it out right now. Just forget about it. Don't go that far. Just the fact, folks. And here's a classic example, Ernest Hemingway. And a lot of you people probably already seen this. His flash fiction story was For Sale, Baby Shoes, Never Worn. Okay. And he didn't have to say too much more than that. You can pretty much gather what he meant by that story. Okay. He's trying to get rid of baby shoes. The baby never came. So, and again, for what reason, who knows? That's getting into too much detail. He just, gave you the bottom line. That was probably the epitome of flash fiction. Or you can, be less like Ernie and write more. Okay. And I have a couple readings here that I wanted to give you that are examples of the flash fiction that I used. Now, again, I'm not an expert at this. I just know what the grade was for my paper after I turned it in. So obviously the papers had some merit. So let me read you first. Oh, wait, I have to, okay, let me go to the next slide. I forgot how I organized this. End of the road. Okay, this was an illustration in my book. I have a very good illustrator, and after he read the story, he came up with this illustration. Let me pull it up really quick. I promise it's not more than 500 words. Strapped with packets of survival food and water, Adam and Ava bicycled to an abandoned cornfield in Valley Central, California. With only 8 liters of oxygen left, they decided to spend their last breathing moments among the withered farm crops. I could stop there. That's basically my topic sentence. Does anybody want to know more? All right. Is it interesting enough to hold you where you might want to know just a little bit more of the story? Laying their bikes alongside of the highway, Adam and Ava stepped into the cornfield. The once lush, tall stalks of sweet corn, a staple food for millions, withered to barren stalks. The couple splashed through a flooded irrigation road that normally hydrated the crops in the sweltering summer heat, but could do nothing to prevent the yellowing leaves. This is it is a setting, and there are some details, but again, you just need to get an idea of what's going on in this story. Anyway, Adam stopped to adjust his nasal cannula and scan the area. Looks like we're the only ones here. Ava smiled. It's nice we have our own private graveyard. Resting place, Ava. It's our own private resting place. He checked his oxygen tank gauge. Riding a bicycle really ate my oxygen supply. He turned to her. How's yours? Ava stooped to fill her cupped hands with water. It's fine. Adam knocked the water from her hands. Don't drink that. What are you thinking? That water isn't potable. It's probably full of gunk and germs. You can get sick. Sick? She refilled her hands. Adam, we're going to die in a day or two, whether we get sick or not. Don't you have any ray of hope that we can live past this? After slurping some water, she remained low to the ground, swirling water between her fingers. As if reading a bedtime story, she calmly said, Adam, hope ended when our planet's vegetation died. It died from lack of carbon dioxide, which ran out because all the world's populations flattened their carbon footprint. They did so because the World Congress made it law. It became a law because they were convinced by lobbyists that excess CO2 causes climate change. By the time Congress realized their major goof, it was too late to reverse the damage. She stood up. Let's go find a shady, cool place in the cornfield. The end. So yeah, it's a little kind of a, gloomy, doomy story, but it's flash fiction. It tells the story of these two teenagers spending their last hours, days together. And again, it sounds a little, political in terms of, World Congress and stuff like that, but you can apply, that kind of problem and that kind of litigation or legislation by any politics. It doesn't matter. They could have been on the moon for all we know. They could have been at a picnic. But I chose to use something really, really, dysfunctional and gloomy and make it a short story so everybody gets the idea of what that story was all about. So that's all that was. That's flash fiction. And that's the story. All right, I have one more, and bear with me. It's only it's a quickie, and then I'll end. So all right, so this is a doorway. This is the employee outside the doorway of the boss's office. So the man waiting out, again, this was an English paper that was requested by my teacher. So he said, make it quick, make it under 500 words, and make it interesting. Oh, and if you want to, you can make it all dialogue. Well, mine really wasn't exterior dialogue. It was more or less interior dialogue, but this is it. Man waiting outside his boss's office. Knew I shouldn't have gone golfing with the boss. Should have stayed home and mowed the lawn. All those weeks of rain turned it into a jungle. Now I'll have to slash and burn it, just like the boss will do to me. What was I thinking? He and his buddies were hackers. They were lousy. It made no sense for a scratch golfer like me to join them. I tried to screw up, teeing off that par 3 hole with my eyes closed was supposed to be a disaster. Never dreamed it'd be a hole in one. Should have gone home and cut the grass just to keep my job. Okay, that's the end of his internal monologue. Dialogue? It's an internal monologue. Yeah, because it's just him. Okay. All right, now here's the boss sitting at the desk in his office. Damn son of a bitch. Why did he have to showcase like that? Made me and my buddies look like crap. Told him before we started to relax and lay off the PGA facade. Guess he didn't understand me. Must have thought his golf score was more important than his job. He didn't have to tee off that par 5 hole with a putter. The damn worm burner went straight down the fairway at least 300 yards. And what was the point of hitting a hole in one with his eyes closed? Scummy insubordinate. This is the last time he'll take orders from me. The end. So again, just a couple paragraphs. Flash fiction. Got an A on that paper. And of course, the teacher at the time was LOLing the whole, my whole grade sheet. So I obviously caught his attention. So that's it. 2 examples, some basics about flash fiction in a nutshell. The end.
Jane, Sue had a question in chat.
Oh, good. I got to find chat. Here we go. Wow, Sue, Sue, Arizona. Can I put 2 characters? I don't understand what the term you were saying, Sue.
Oh, she just asked if she can put more than 2 characters in a 3,000 word or a 300 word piece of flash fiction.
As long as it's effective, you certainly can. You could have, people playing cards at a card table, 4 card players.
Yeah.
You certainly can. But, the craft of it is, can you keep them straight? Can you keep them apart? Can you get away with, not using as many dialogue tags and stuff like that? So that's the art of how you want to set up your flash fiction. Most of the flash fiction that I've read were narration forms, narratives, whatever you want to call them, where they just describe something going on. Like the Ernest Hemingway, he was just talking about selling baby shoes, period. But you can get creative and start, interjecting more items in your story. And again, the word count will be your constraint. You just have to keep that in line. Make sure you
Jane, you still there? I think we lost Jane for a minute.
Oh, did I mute myself?
I think so.
Oh, no. The whole time?
Well, we didn't hear you for, you cut off like in mid-sentence.
In the beginning or?
In the middle of a sentence about flashback, about answering Sue's thing. I did want to say one thing though. I thought that Ernest Hemingway flash fiction with the baby shoes. I think that's so profound because it evokes emotion. Especially, I don't know. I'm the mother of 4 children, so I guess well they're all grown, but it makes me feel like like so emotional when I hear that because it makes me think of a baby that died or a baby that a
Right.
miscarriage or something and it's a very profound, just a few words can be very profound. So anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Can you
But
hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I was going to say, so you can put 2 characters in it, but make sure that you follow your constraints. Keep it, keep it short, keep it simple. Make sure your dialogue tags are not overused. Just be careful how you do it. And again, read it, write it down, read it to someone else. See if they get the gist of what you were trying to say. If you lose them somewhere in the context, then it's time to revise. Does that make sense?
Yep. There's another question in the chat from Fazia.
Okay. Oh, is flash fiction usually published as a compilation or anthology? No, it doesn't have to. I did only because I had a bunch of stories that I want to publish. There are literary contests out there that want just the flash fiction entry. So consider it an unpublished short story. And they are. You can Google search them. I get a lot in my mailbox. There's a lot of contests out there regarding flash fiction, and they will tell you what the limit is. Some will say 1,000 words. Some are a little more lenient and go a little more than that, 2,000 words. But they want to know how good your storytelling skills are with these tight constraints. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be a compilation. Mine was because I had a bunch of them. So, yeah, but you can enter a contest asking just for flash fiction.
That's true. And
Yeah, good point, Bob, about the online magazines. So, yeah, I would do that. Google
oh
search.
yeah,
Any
that's
other
true.
questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. It's only 10:34 in the morning, and we just did a flash fiction
Well,
presentation
great.
in flash fiction. So
Thank
go
you
have
so
a
much,
great
Jane.
rest of your day. Go ahead.
I want to mention that we'll have Peter Bernhardt's workshop next month, and I believe it's on May 15th. It's on a Saturday in mid-May. I'll send you all an email beforehand, and he's going to be hosting a workshop on the pesky pitfalls of writing and all the little nitpicky things that people do that that they need work on. And he's been doing this workshop for as long as I've known him. He did that workshop one year when I first started, when I first joined the Arizona Authors, which was in 2008, I think, late 2008, I joined. And so he's been doing this workshop for a long time, and he's really good at it. So I hope you'll be there. I'll send out an email with the link, and it's in the newsletter, the April digest, but for some reason the link was left off. And so I'll make sure to get that to you in an email. So thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.